everyone. My name is Vakya and this is my testimony. I was born and raised in a Christian family, so I've had a lot of exposure to God and Christianity. I grew up in India and we moved to Australia when I was 5. We lived in the city and attended Cross Culture City Church, which is where my love for God started growing. Although I went to kids' church, prayed, sung worship songs, and read the Bible, my faith wasn't my own, but rather something I grew up with. It wasn't me believing in my God, but rather me believing in my parents' God. I considered myself Christian because I did all the good things that God asked us to do, but I lost sight of who I was truly worshiping. When I was 11 years old, I had a deep calling to get baptized. I hadn't felt that kind of inclination before, so I was originally quite excited, but also slightly scared. After mentioning it to my parents, they believed it was better for me to wait for a while so I wasn't rushing my decision. I let go of that desire for a while, but after a few months, I started to deepen my connection with Jesus. I started reading the Bible with more understanding. I started getting more involved in the church and its various ministries, and I started seeing Christianity for its truth and not my own version of it. Jesus never wanted my good works, flawlessness, or achievements. He wanted my heart, broken or imperfect. He wanted the part of me that cried through sleepless nights, that carried guilt behind every smile. He died a perfect man for my flaws and rose again so I could rejoice in his victory. When I was in Tasmania on holiday, we went to Hillsong Hobart for a church service. Growing up, I listened to a lot of songs by Hillsong, so I was quite excited to go that day. We started off with worship, and I started singing along with the song. As I sang, I felt a deep peace, a peace that filled my body with relief and calmness. I clung on to that feeling, reliving the past couple of months. I had been quite stressed, and I wasn't sleeping or eating properly. My soul felt restless within me, and I couldn't find peace anywhere, even as I slept. But as I stood there in the presence of the Lord, my worries faded away. Just then, the lyrics of the song said, "He has overcome the battle," and my tears started flowing. I couldn't stop them, but they weren't tears of sadness. They were tears of reassurance. That day, I decided I wanted to get baptized and publicly accept Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. To me, baptism isn't just getting dunked into water. It's a public declaration of your faith in Jesus' death and resurrection. It's dying and rising again to life with Christ. Colossians chapter 2, verse 12 says, "Having been buried with him in baptism, in which you were also raised with him through faith in the powerful working of God, who raised him from the dead." Today, I want to take baptism because I want to surrender my life to Christ, to follow him and give him my everything. I want to deepen my connection with him and be a reflection of his love towards others. Please continue to pray for me even after I get baptized, so that I may continue to grow in his spirit and wisdom for the expansion of his kingdom. Thank you.